so we're going to talk about stretching today, and I know you're helping women who want to lose weight and feel better about themselves and their body image and things like that, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think you're the perfect person to talk
Yes.
about stretch with. Stretch with. So let's just jump in, and I'll tell a little bit about my story, and then you can tell a little bit about your story, so that way people can get to know us a little bit more. It's early
All
still. Hold
right.
on. Let me melt a little bit. So I'm a massage therapist. I'm also a spa manager. I've been in the spa industry for over 10 years now. So I had even created a stretching service. Like I said in one of my posts, I think like 2 posts ago, and how I created
Uh-huh.
it and how stretching is so important to me. I also have my background in sports and rehab, an associate's degree. So that's why I think sports stretching is so important to me. And I know that you've been doing
Uh-huh.
your splits challenge, and I feel like that's so interesting to me. Every time I'm like, what is it? Is it gonna get lower today? Like, I don't know. I'm fascinated. So I so that's a little bit about me. Okay. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, I'm a fitness coach. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been working at a gym
Mm-hmm.
for, the past few years, but I also, want to expand online to like talk to women, especially women of color, about their health, their fitness and how, they can build up, their routine without having to like, go through like torture themselves and suffer and feel
Yeah.
bad about themselves. And so you can
Yes.
see that
And
I
I have
did
felt that way in the past too.
Yeah, so that's basically, my thing. And I think I did, the hamstring stretch last year, and this year I'm just concluding on my middle splits. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure about which one I should do next.
um, so let's talk about today. I have my little notes on my laptop here.
Hmm.
My Our 3 key takeaways for today. We're going to learn about why people don't stretch at home, stretching mistakes, and the best stretch for sitting down for extended periods of time. I think that's what was written down in my comments. So to me, I don't think people stretch at home because they don't value it and they don't have the time for it. What do you think?
Yeah, that is very true, and it's not, as promoted as, like
Mm-hmm.
other things when we talk about, we don't, when you go to work out, you don't think about doing stretching except if you go into yoga or you go
Yeah.
to like get a massage. You
Mm-hmm.
you want to lie down and have somebody else do the stretching and, do the
Mm-hmm.
things for you instead of having to do it yourself. So,
Yeah.
as the society, we don't really I feel like we don't really stress on, just doing stretching
Mm-hmm.
as an activity.
Yeah. And I think too, it's hard for people to feel like they have time because, like, I just want to rest and I
Hmm.
just want to relax. I don't want to be actively doing something. But so many of us are watching TV or scrolling on our phone, and we could just be doing like a little hamstring stretch or like maybe a quad stretch
Right.
while we're like sitting on the floor or just trying to touch your
Hmm.
toes, something easy, just to really get everything like going and starting and lengthening
Hmm.
those muscles that are tight all day from sitting.
Yeah, or
And
whatever you do.
yeah, exactly. What about stretching mistakes? Do you feel like I know my number one stretching mistake that I feel like a lot of people do is rushing through it?
Oh,
Do you feel
so
like
they
that
don't
too?
hold it for long enough, like about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yes, and they don't
So
breathe and
like,
they don't feel their muscles relax.
oh, and so basically they just sort of like hold on to it and be like, and then go out
Yeah.
of breath and then just like, sort of like
Mhm. Yeah.
stretch before and
I think
after
a lot of
workout.
people are just trying to. Mhm. Oh, my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people was for with stretching, like you just kind of do it like this, and then be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I think they're all like, okay, just get into the position and then that's good enough. Which I guess from not doing
Yeah.
anything, it's okay, but I don't think it's good enough. I think to really have an effective stretch, you need to be intentional about it and you really need to hold it and breathe and like really
Hmm.
feel those muscles lengthening and getting that mobility and flexibility that you want and desire while you even started
Hmm.
stretching, right?
Hmm. Yeah. But I mean, in my fields,
Mm-hmm.
people would encourage you stretch, warm up before and after a workout. But
Yes.
there are different stretches.
Mm-hmm.
Before the workout, you need to do dynamic stretch. It's more
Mm-hmm.
moving around because if you do static stretch, which is like something I feel like you're more, into,
Mm-hmm.
uh, your body would stiffen up for
Yes.
like, so it wouldn't actually help you at all if you want to do stretch as a warm up thing to then
Yes.
doing other stuff. And then, after we're done with the workout, not a whole lot of people be like, let's do some stretch. And it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna leave.
Right? And I feel like that's usually the case too. When I was working out more often, I definitely need to get back into that. I would do like stretching beforehand, like you said, that's a little bit more active. It's not as static. And I feel like that's
Hmm.
also super beneficial because you can incorporate it in your workout, which helps to prevent injury, right?
Hmm. Yeah. That's the whole point of um preventing injuries is, I would say, research one speaking, is only for like a couple of sports.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like just working out at the gym or at home, it's more to raise your heart rate up and not
Yes.
really preventing injury. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're a car. Think about that way. When you start a car, you don't just immediately zoom, like you're like, all right, let's go. You have to
Yeah, I do.
start it up, a bit, and then you slowly. So that's the point of it. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
stress yourself too much, because obviously if you like immediately zoom, then you would lead to injuries and other stuff that may be like just a side effect of not stretching.
Right? I definitely do that with my car. I'm guilty of just like, okay, it's on, let's go. I'm just not gonna drive as fast. And then I feel
Hmm.
like that's
But you
not
don't go
like
from like
I
0
guess
to 60, right? Do you?
not no, I can drive down the street. But
Right. So that's the point
um
too. Yeah, you don't go that crazy.
a little bit. I do go like I feel like I go like 40 miles per hour in like maybe 5 minutes of driving. And I feel like I probably should like turn on the car and sit there for a little bit,
No.
listen to a song or two.
It's
But
depend on the car, I would say, but you just ask your mechanics. But they usually don't recommend going that fast. Like they're like, okay, like start on and then, like sit around for like a minute and then
yeah.
uh like then you go to like, 20 and then 30. Like that's is because I have a very old car. So that's
Uh-huh.
why I've been like just sort of comparing it, because my cars is, I
Hmm.
think, a year younger than me. So that
Stop. No way.
so yeah, so me and her, I don't even have a name because it's so old. I'm like, you're gonna break down anytime. So that's why I'm like, okay, that's how, I should look at me warming up and doing the exercise.
Yeah.
Is like, all
Yeah.
right, I get myself like, I get, okay, this is when I'm doing it. So, like getting to the car as me like, okay, preparing for the workout, and then a bit of dynamic stretching when you
Yeah.
turning on, and then, wait for like a minute or two to get it going, and then slowly, okay, go out of my suburbs because I live in the suburbs. So like, you can't go
Yeah.
40 and there you're gonna hit a kid. and, and then you're like, okay, we're on the main road now, let's go to 50. And then you go to highway, obviously, if you do, and then you go to 60,
Hmm.
70, 80, whatever you want. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's
Yeah.
sort of how I think.
Yes. No, I agree too. I think I'm definitely not one of those people that like, okay, I'm here at the gym. Let's go on the treadmill and start running. I'm like, I need to walk around, I need to stretch, and then I get my mat before, and then I have my mat nearby in case I need to stretch in the middle. So
Mm-hmm.
my husband's always like, you are doing everything but working out. And I'm like, no, I'm just working out the way I need to. Because I like to make sure that my body is functioning at an optimal level. I want to make sure that, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it right. So I like to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that I'm like I even stopped the treadmill and I'm like stretching my quads and everything just because I want to make sure that if I'm running, I am having the right, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? But I'll just say rhythm because I was like, I don't know what that thing is called. Because it's not rotation.
Rhythm?
Um,
Uh,
yeah, I
just,
guess rhythm. I guess, or yeah. So I want
or
to
just
make
the
sure that
intensity. Yeah.
yes, I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. So that's why I always like just stretch, even if it's like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
have to stop. I feel a little like my what is it? My hip is catching. I was like, I'll just stretch. And my husband's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working out. And I'm like, I am.
Yeah, that's kind of weird too. Yeah, that is a bit weird because you see people just do it, but then it depends on the
Yeah.
person. And as
Mm-hmm.
long as you make it work, it's
Yes. Yeah.
fine. And so we have yeah, we talk about a lot of working. I know I'm a fitness coach and I'm sort of like putting people into that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had a question about, the best stretch for sitting out down because I just recently
Mm-hmm.
write a blog post just about,
Oh, you
sitting
did?
down and the harmful
Uh-huh.
side effects of it. So I would like
Awesome.
to like ask you like, okay, now that we know about stretching, we know that, how we should stretch
Mm-hmm.
before and after the workout or,
Yeah.
stretch regularly. Um, how would you approach that? Because somebody would say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting down all day. I know it's bad for me. And then one of
Yeah.
the thing I can do is stretch to break up
Mm-hmm.
the time I'm sitting down. And so how
Mm-hmm.
would you do that? How many moves would you show them?